We talked a little bit last week about how there can be really bad people, dead people, with really bad intentions who suddenly realize that they have the ability to go unnoticed by a gigantic portion of the world. That gives them a freedom to become all kinds of bad and evil. It appears to be a choice. They can choose to move forward to what I've always called the debrief, where someone or something meets them and talks them through what the point of their life was going to be. And then they learn lessons, incorporate those, and move on to whatever it is that comes next. I can never see that far. I don't know what comes next. And I think that's on purpose. But they also appear to have the choice to stay here. And a lot of times that's where you end up with those folks that I say are lost or stuck. At some point, they made the choice to stick around, whether it was they have a loved one and they're waiting to move on to whatever's next. And then somehow time, because it doesn't act the same there, sort of makes them stuck. And then they lose track of why they were there and they become confused and then they need help. I'm not talking about those folks. I'm talking about the ones that make a decision to stay. And in that decision, grow their ability to then become a nuisance to the living. Those people exist too. We're talking about Karens to the umpteenth degree, but possibly violent or predatory, that can, in some very rare circumstances, actually create a situation where they're bullying other dead. I had a client, and I don't remember the circumstances. It was years ago. I'm going to have to look through my notes, and if I can find it, I'll give you the specifics of the client. But showing up at their house, there were so many dead people there. Like, I remember what it looked like. It was a crowd of dead people, and they were terrified. They were all afraid of this one person who had started collecting them. They were confused dead folk who had been dead for a long time, and he had turned them into not an army. He was bullying them to be assholes to the living, and they didn't remember that they had an out, and they were so grateful to be given the opportunity to cross over where somebody could actually help them. So this is what I mean by seeing evidence that we still maintain our free will when we die. We are still able to make decisions about how we want to move forward in whatever it is that comes next. Those decisions aren't always the best ones.